There is no doubt. I think we all know this. It takes a special or at least a certain type of mentality to thrive playing in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia fans. No doubt about that. I don't think we've any have ever argued that. That being said, I did not realize how unbelievably soft some players were that I don't know how they play anywhere. I had a clip here from Bryce Huff. Y'all remember Bryce Huff on Caps Off podcast? Never heard of it, but apparently he is still hurting from his time in Philadelphia, and it's our fault. You've got to listen to this clip. It's only about 20 seconds long. Take a listen. We're going to talk about this because this is wild.
Goes to Philly, signs a huge deal with them. At what point did you know vibes were off? This shit wasn't gonna work.
First week of camp.
Why was that?
For the fans especially, like they take pride in going after people.
They're assholes.
Yeah, they know it.
How does that feel to even have a Super Ring that in a way you didn't get to really contribute?
It's cool to have, like it's cool to say like I was part of a Super Bowl winning team, but like the way that went down, like me finding out that I wasn't playing, I lost so much respect for the people involved.
Goes to Philly, signs a huge deal with them.
All right, hold on. Let's just listen to this first part again. Pay attention to what he says here. The two things that he connects.
Goes to Philly, signs a huge deal with them. At what point did you know vibes were off? This shit wasn't gonna work.
First week of camp.
Why was that?
For the fans especially, like they take pride in going after people.
They're assholes.
Yeah, they know it.
Wow. Okay, I'm not even going to get into this complete and total loser calling Philadelphia fans assholes. No idea who he is. Never heard of him. Never heard of the Caps Off podcast. But he sounds like a clown for sure. And Bryce Huff is going to sit there and tell you that he knew vibes were off in Philly the very first week of camp. And then he goes directly to because of the fans and they enjoy going after people. You mean the fans that until very recently did their best to defend AJ Brown? You mean the fans that have been 10 toes down for Jalen Hurts? Those fans? Oh, there's no doubt we can be tough. If you don't give the effort, which seems if you don't have the heart, yeah, we are going to call you out, my friend. You are making how many millions of dollars to play a kid's game and you're not going to give the effort? That to me sounds like the problem with Bryce Huff right here. To dare to sit there and say that your problems in Philadelphia, the reasons you didn't succeed in Philadelphia were because of the fans? Are you for real right now, my friend? By the way, quick favor, if y'all don't mind, if you've been enjoying the content, please take a moment, like this video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, give it a chance. I think we're fewer now than 20 subs. 20 subs of you wonderful people away from 2,000 fans, which is pretty cool. I really do appreciate it. Also, comment down below. What is your initial reaction? You heard that from Bryce Huff. What were your first thoughts running through your head, if you're even allowed to put that in the YouTube comment section, being a Philly fan? But yeah, I mean, basically, Bryce is saying, I was terrible. I sucked. I really did. But, it's everyone else's fault. It's the fans. The fans hurt my feelings, apparently, the first week of camp, which is kind of wild that he knew the first week of camp that vibes were off, and he knew because of the fans. Are we serious? But look, man, here's the thing, and maybe this is more true in Philly than anywhere else, but I think it's kind of true anywhere else. If you're that sensitive, if you have what did they say? Let me see if I can get this back. I guess back in the day, this is what my dad said. I think this is when he was growing up. Maybe I don't know, but it was a while back. They used to talk about players, about athletes having what he called rabbit ears. Sounds like Bryce Huff has a very big case of rabbit ears, man. Because if you are talking about, first of all, to be talking about this, how many years later now is kind of absurd. Well, I guess it's not that many years later, but still, it's been a while. But if you were a complete and total disaster because of the fans early on, because of that outside noise, man, that is a you thing. You are 100% the problem. You are not built. Man, I was going to say you're not built for Philly. That is true, but I don't know if you're built for professional sports nowadays. if that is how sensitive you are. That here we are in 2026 talking about the Super Bowl or this 2024, not even the Super Bowl, the 2024 season. And I think my man is a little butthurt that the Philadelphia Eagles won that Super Bowl without him. Now, if I remember correctly, and doing some research, and I saw a comment, someone talking about this as well. If y'all remember that Bryce Huff, one of the reasons he said he chose Philly was, well, the scheme, how they told him they planned on using him. And then, what, a few months later, he said he couldn't rush out of a 2-point stance. Yeah, my man said that. Well, Bryce, come on. You're a professional football player. You came here for the scheme, but you can't rush out of a 2-point stance. What are we talking about, my man? It sounds to me like you were a healthy scratch for very legitimate reasons. You're talking about the fans at camp, the vibe was off. So you were done before the season even. You were done before the preseason even started. You were mentally cooked before the season even started. No heart whatsoever, no desire whatsoever. What did you expect the season was going to come to, my friend? What did you expect? Again, can I mention he's blaming the fans for the, yes, first week of camp, and it went downhill from there. So it sounds a lot more like, hey, you know what? Philly gave me all this money, and I went there, and turns out I can't even rush from a 2-point stance, and they wanted that, and I pretty much completely sucked. But to the point where I was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl because I sucked butt. But hey, you know what? It's the fans' fault that I was that freaking bad and couldn't break through into an elite defense. But none of it's my fault. I'm not to blame. I didn't do anything wrong. Look, man, come on. We all know this in Philly. It is not hard to be a fan favorite. I mean, obviously, perform, right? If you're getting paid ridiculous amounts of money, there's a performance expectation, and that's true anywhere. But man, you got to come in, embrace the fans, Bryce, and show a little heart and desire, right? Give 100%. That's all you got. That's really the key to it all. Yeah, obviously performance, but that's true anywhere because you're going to lose your job anywhere, regardless of the fans, if you're not performing. You got to show a little heart, show a little desire, give that something extra. The fans see that, the Philly fans recognize that, and they will back you and they will cheer for you. And that's pretty much it, my man. That is pretty much it. I mean, so I would say step up, do your best to try and, if you can't be a man, at least emulate one, pretend. You've probably seen a few in your lifetime. Try acting like them and say, "Hey man, you know what? I was kind of a bust in Philly. I let certain things get into my head that I shouldn't have, and I did not perform well enough on an elite defense to deserve to play in that Super Bowl." Absolutely wild. I mean, this is the guy. I mean, think about what he's saying here. This is the guy who gave up before camp even started. Absolutely wild to me, my man. Absolutely wild. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Go Birds. I will talk to you later.